Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is Enzo and today we're going to be checking out a subscriber game here on the version 28 meta. So we're going to be following the game of, I think it's Snarky Goblin. He actually only started playing a couple of days ago, and he's having some difficulties of figuring out decisions in endgames. He's also mentioned troop management. He's actually spawning right here, which I'll just tell you with his spawn, I'm not really sure about it. I don't love it. You're going to see that he's going to get spawn snipe here. I haven't seen the game. I've just seen the start. I feel like this area, if you just look at it, it looks really, really hot. Typically on this map, I like to go over here. I don't know if this is like, it's below Morocco. I don't know if it's totally in Algeria. Algeria is a pretty big country. So he's starting right here on the Nile River. And the whole reason I don't totally love this spawn is it just looks really, really hot. I know he didn't really have the foresight of seeing Santa Claus spawning here. But there's just so many people on this part of the map. Like, one of the things I was looking at when people were spawning in, and this is a tutorial I did so long ago, it just kind of kills me how many people are so interested in these crazy hotspots, because you have to deal with so many people to get out of here. Like Newfoundland Empire, you just have such bad prospects. So I'm bad's probably doing what I've kind of done in some of my tutorials, wait up to around 50% of your max population, then send out a push. I have some questions about whether or not that's the most efficient. I'd kind of guess, like, if any of you know Befur. I've seen some things from him that have made me question stuff. I think I'm Bad's push level right here. I'm a little skeptical of it. I think he might have gone a little bit early. One of the good things on this update is you can see max troops. Like, if you look in the leaderboard over here, there's actually some good things to that, because that can help give you an assessment of how strong people are. If you're watching this vid, it's very possible that you're one of the people who are like, I'm trying to improve, I want to get better. And one of the things that a lot of people do, or they notice in games, or they comment in my Discord sometimes, is they're like, hey, I got pushed by someone with the same amount of troops, I don't get it. And it's probably because someone had higher max troops. So I'm bad here. I do not like how quickly he's pushing, and this might be some of the troop management stuff, because you see he's got a 100k cap. I mean, I'm guilty of this too. I think he should be sitting up a little bit more. I could understand the kind of goal of trying to get over here to this kind of corridor, and that makes sense. But at this point, he's really weak. So the fact that this game, that he's supposedly going to get to endgame, I'm already kind of interested in that. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. So in his position right here, I would hope he's allying most of the people. The fact that he has two bots next to him, I would be very interested in kind of pushing them rather than fighting people. He's getting up his port. Overall pop management, it's a little bit better right now. He can probably start pushing multiple bots at the same time. This is probably just backseat driving, saying that he can do a little bit less. He should be pushing Sudan here. Nice job on that. He's taken out the bots and actually getting himself in a pretty good position. It's kind of funny that he was able to get this much land, because I didn't think he had these good prospects. So at this point, looks like Santa Claus basically full sent. Kind of unfortunate. Not sure what to say there. He's not going to get most of the infrastructure. It's kind of one of those happens moments. So I'm actually so surprised that this spawn worked out as well as it did. He's got up his port. He's got up a number of factories, sitting on 6 cities. He's actually got 4 factories. That's pretty good. So at these early points in the games, I think most of us know that a lot of this is about alliance management, choosing timings, and typically the weakest fish on the board get knocked down. So I don't know who he's going to go for next, but we're going to speed this up. He's getting up a missile silo early, which I don't really like that much, because I don't think he really needs to hydro anyone. I think he should be looking around, like on the Red Sea. Like, if he was really active, he could think about boating over here, going for Hussein. He's got a really busy spawn, though, so there's a lot to think about. He, at this point, and he is responding very quickly, is pushing Be Nicer. One tip that people have told me really recently in the comments is if you're allied with someone and they leave, you don't have to break the alliance to push them, which is really awesome. So this is all great thus far. Like, I think I'm Bad is doing fine. I don't like the missile silo call just because I don't think it's that important. And I think in this type of early middle stage, if you're this strong and you have this much of an advantage, you just want to find people that you can push and win kind of easily. If there's someone really big, you can consider a Hydra, but typically how I approach games is I'm more interested in going for smaller players with less risk, because if you're fighting someone and you're burning 5 mil gold, like, that can just be risky. So I'm kind of hoping that there's just a waiting for an alliance to expire. Number here would be great to push. I don't think there's any option to betray at this point in time. There are too many people who are strong right here. This city placement is interesting. One of the things I think about with factories, even though they've been nerfed by like their train gold from allies is down to 35k, is sometimes I don't want to put factories on borders of people who I think I'm going to take. So we see someone else leave. He's just kind of getting some nice people leaving, which is going to help his game go. And he has this one port right here. I'd almost feel like, you know, I don't know the kind of rates for port anymore, like the kind of coefficient, because there's a certain number of ports where your returns start to decrease like really a ton. I think a couple more ports, like if you got up 3 or like 5, I think that could be good. That's just one consideration. So I'm not sure what I'm bad to spend all his cash on. He's setting up Sam's right here. I'm not a huge fan of that, but it's kind of okay. Kind of playing for the long game. If you didn't have an alliance here, this would be a time to push, but we don't really know that just because of a lack of contextual stuff. We actually see a hydro, or what are we seeing? We just see a present right here. Do not tell me that's an atom bomb. Okay. I don't really love that choice. I think what would have been a better call is you put an missile silo a lot closer, because sending bombs like really far away, that can be a huge risk. Imagine if DZ, the boss's basically alliance expired with this guy and he pushed. I'm bad would have broken the alliance and gotten totally cooked. So be really careful about sending large bombs when you have alliances nearby. This is all good. He's taking people out. I'd be starting to be worried about this crown here, and I don't know if I'd be the most interested in trading with them, but I'm not totally sure. Some of the troop pushes a little bit too much. He probably knows that. Boating in here would be a great option at this point, but we will see where I'm bad is going to go. Rest of the map, not really sure. We can actually slow this down and just do an assessment of gold. So we've already got someone who's up to Merv. And I actually just want to see who it is. So it's Anarchers Tradist Alliance, this is actually a really, really quick Merv. With 25 mil Mervs in this type of updated meta, like, I don't know even what to think about it, because 25 mil is dirt cheap on this economy. And I think this shows you that even like factory maxing on this level, oh my god, and he's freaking using it. He's sacrificing himself. Is he going to kill the crown? And now the Mervs are 50 mil. So who did he do? He did it on the freaking crown. That is crazy. And you know what's even crazier? No one is betraying him. That would, oh, and this call to betray here. This is super risky. And you know what? I would never in a million years do this. I don't think it's good. These hydros are going to be so bad. If cold pushed him, if gravity pushed him, Gargle can't, but I'm bad could get hit so hard. I know it looks like a great opportunity, and maybe you got away with it because they didn't fight you, but you have like no troops, you have huge vulnerability of being pushed. Your SAMs might have given you a little bit of extra protection, but I do not like that. And I also I don't understand like why this guy did this and he got away with it, but I think this still shows you that factory trade is really, really good. And without like a buff to ports, I think port economies are not going to be as good. This is also kind of a weird call. I don't know why he needed that many warships. I think like one would be good. So if I'm him, I'm just going to try to recover. I don't want to fight anyone who's too strong, but I probably do want to try to push some people who maybe are a little bit more weak, like UN Cool right here. What I'm bad could do is put up a missile silo here, do a hydro, all of his stuff will disappear. If you're worried about him hydroing you back, put up a SAM launcher here to just basically cap his silo out. We have got a crown with kind of wreck skin snowballing over here. He's got a lot, and he's definitely a worry in the long term, but you got to keep an eye on that and also kind of still play your game. So let's go and increase the speed a little bit. Taking back some irradiated land's not a bad idea, but I also think if you can just get a bit more land, like that's a good idea. And you have the hydros to do that on a lot of people. Like this guy is probably pretty hard to hydro, but I would be looking right at UN Cool D because he's just like, he looks like an awesome freaking target. He doesn't have gold. He has a ton of cities. You have other people to trade with. It's not that much of a worry. Looking at the gold economy of stuff, this guy still has a bunch, and I guess we're at, what is it? We're at 40 mil Mervs, and we see another Merv go off. I don't know if this is how I'm bad. That's like the most random thing, and I hate this choice again. I despise this choice. I think this is so risky. I think that you have all your infrastructure right here. I think if all these people betrayed and pushed you, it could be just disastrous. It looks like you're going to get away with it again, and you're kind of worried about the crown getting over here. You might not have noticed it. At this point, if you don't notice it, you need to start panic defense posting. Maybe you got an alliance at the last second. Really, really sketchy. And if I'm the crown, I have noticed that you have betrayed twice, and I would be interested in this. The thing I'll say with this too is, dude, if you're playing after a couple days, your start is great. I would be trying to improve some of your factory networks. Like, I might pick 1 or 2 people to trade with. Like, a great person to trade with is this friendly Mito guy, because you can kind of imagine maybe he's kind of like cheater-like, and you can basically just keep him here. You just got to watch out for betrayals in the long run. But my kind of main thing that I'm worrying about is how this guy is getting all over the map. He could push you and like one-shot you with his troop cap, because you can see, like, if we just, let's slow this down really quick. You can see your troop cap, it's way lower than this guy. I don't think you're as connected as some of these other people. We're still probably going to have some kind of stalemate stuff. And what I'd be doing is I'd be putting up a lot of cities around here. I would not bunker this necessarily, because I think it's a little bit too close. And I'm not sure at this point, because we're kind of getting into these standoff points in these games. So I guess 2 MERVs have gone up. So we're at 55 mil MERV. And I would be preparing quick strike packages against some of these bigger people. Some of these other people who are small, though, I would really strongly consider planning to take them out. Cool D is still looking awesome. I don't know who you've allied with, but like boating over here into Spain would have been a good idea at this point. And it is going to be a waiting game. And I kind of think this Flightless Birds guy, if I'm going to guess from the description, I think he might be like my pick to run away with it, because I feel like he's made good decisions. He's moved across the map. He's got a crazy good economy. He's got a ton of cities. Like, he's got way more cities than you. And what he's doing is what you should have been doing a while ago, man. Like, you needed to start pushing these people and taking them out pragmatically. Because what it's likely going to happen is he's just going to keep making moves. And with 50 mil MERV, no one can really harm him that much. And you also got to consider, like, what are his strike packages? He's got a lot of SAMs right here. Your probably best bet for pop damage is over here. Another one goes down. No more economy building. I'm kind of guessing this is a saving up for MERV. And it's not necessarily a bad choice. I think, actually, like, if you got to MERV, I would probably go for this first. But you see right here, another guy goes down. He actually doesn't even do anything. And I'm kind of guessing fight birds. He might get to the MERV first. That is just kind of my guess. Oh, yeah. And then this guy, who you probably had an opportunity to go for, it's actually just kind of tough, because I think it's just going to be so close. And I would get a missile silo up at the top of the map, because if that doesn't happen, I think that's really it. And really, at this point in time, he's just kind of gone across. This is the last moment, because you got to consider the updated balance, and I think he just MERVs you and win. I would fire it immediately if it was me. I'd put up a missile silo here. I would have likely cleared all these other people. He's just doubled his troop cap. I would fire it like as soon as an alliance expired, and he still might hit first, and he still might take your whole base, and there might not be anything to do. And if you fired it from the bottom of the map, that is a problem. If you fire MERVs from the top of the map, you can actually do way better. And this is the thing. You got to be a little bit more active and kind of think about your decisions a little bit quicker, because sitting around, not building up your economy, and unless you get like almost instant detonation, this guy always had more troops than us, always going to win. So thanks for submitting your game, man. The fact that you got this far is like great. And I hope this helps people to improve their game on version 28.